All right, everyone, welcome back to Max Street Garage. This is going to be another supplemental since it was raining outside today. It's the end of the day right now, and I figured I'd go ahead and shoot this video to show you my progress of what I've gotten done today. In an earlier video, you may have seen where I was making armor for a wedding coming up in October to look a lot like Lord Aragorn's in Lord of the Rings: Return of the King for his coronation. After watching dozens of videos and looking at what other people were doing, I came up with three choices. The first choice I thought would be the easiest: to use body plaster cast material, make a casting of my upper torso, and then just put fiberglass over top of that, paint the fiberglass, and then bing, bang, boom, I'd be done. Well, there's some flaws with that theory. It worked, but not as well as I wanted to, and I'll be able to use that later on in a different project. Second was to use metal. That went away really quickly because the tools I needed to do that with metal became too costly, so I went on to step three. Step three is to use this crafting foam that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby is my favorite hobby store. I know there are great ones out there. Michael's has a lot of stuff, but I just prefer Hobby Lobby. But anyway, on with the show. I cut all this out originally, and then I was going to cover it with leather and then try to stain or dye the leather to make it look like metal, which meant this would again become very, very expensive, very, very fast. So I scrapped that part and moved on to doing this without any kind of leather coverings. Now, before I do anything, I will take an X-Acto knife and maybe some sandpaper, go all the way around the edges, make sure all the edges blend together, have the same angle and everything looks as close as I can get it, and then we'll move on with the next step. The next step is to use Mod Podge. It's a water-based glue and sealer and makes a really nice finish on the material you're working with. And with this, it'll help me create a very believable shine like it could be metal. Now with the Mod Podge, I will be putting on 2 coats to get it as smooth as possible. I'll be using the foam sponge brushes to keep any kind of brush marks off of the surface as I can that you may find that you have using regular horsehair or nylon bristle brushes. Now after those 2 coats I've had a chance to dry, I'll come in behind that with this Plastidip. The videos that I watched, the people used black paint, but I watched other videos where people say the base coat of any paint should be as close to your final finish as you can get it to help bring out the shine. So what I found was this Plastidip, because it is flexible, protects rubber, it's a protective rubber, and it stays flexible the entire time. That's important because this stuff is very flexible, and if you use regular paint, it'll crack and maybe even peel a lot quicker than normal. The Plastidip is going to work very well. Now, they didn't have it at the store, but there is a silver or aluminum colored Plastidip, which I'll get as soon as it comes in, or maybe I'll just order it off of Amazon. Who knows? But after this has had a chance to cure, dry, I'll put 2 coats of that on, and then we'll move on to the silver color and get that as close as I can to looking like aluminum or a metal chest plate as I possibly can. And then after that's had a chance to cure, I will then use the Plastidip Flexible Glossifier coating, put a couple coats on that. So this way I'll be able to rub it or maybe even put something on it to help it, rub something into it to make it shine. But it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be super shiny. It just needs to look like metal armor. So that's where I am today. I'm hoping this video doesn't bore you. Please make comments if you see me doing something that probably isn't correct. Let me know how you would do it, because I'm prone to make mistakes, but I always listen to advice. Thanks for watching. be good to yourself, be nice to each other, and may the rain stay off your back.